All right, we have some big update on Sheikh Hasina. It appears that United Kingdom has said no to Sheikh Hasina. No provision for temporary asylum. That's the response that Sheikh Hasina has got for the moment. In fact, United Kingdom, who she's approached for asylum, says you must claim asylum in the first safe country that you reach. Hasina's UK asylum plan hits a roadblock, with UK responding to her with a negative, saying that there's no provision for temporary asylum. UK claiming that asylum should be taken in the first safe country you reach in. So it appears that Sheikh Hasina has faced a roadblock. Doesn't seem like UK is going to be issuing a temporary asylum for Sheikh Hasina. What does that mean? Let me take this through Geeta Mohan for more on that. Geeta, please give us more on India's stand on Sheikh Hasina. Is India mulling over providing refuge to Sheikh Hasina? Is there a provision that India is exploring, or is Sheikh Hasina exploring with the roadblock that she's met with in United Kingdom? What's her next move?
Well, there could be other countries. Now, there are two things that India would be looking at, and Sheikh Hasina. One is that there is an understanding, and surely an understanding in the Sheikh Hasina camp as well, that she cannot prolong her stay to infinity here in India. That there is a problem. New Delhi has to engage Dhaka, and security of our own borders is paramount. So Sheikh Hasina, like Dr. Jaishankar laid out on the floor of the House, cannot be a permanent arrangement for Sheikh Hasina in India, that it is temporary. Having said that, which are the other countries that they could explore? She has family and grandchildren living in various other parts of Europe, and they would be looking at all those countries as well. For now, the UK hinting. Now, the first hint came yesterday when Foreign Secretary Lamy had put out a statement expressing concerns about developments in Bangladesh, but also adding that there has to be a UN-led full investigation carried out on everything that has happened in the past few weeks, clearly suggesting that the government was in the wrong. Sheikh Hasina administration did not do right by the people of Bangladesh. Secondly, now the understanding that we have on UK's immigration rules and norms clearly says that if she has found a safe space in a country outside of Bangladesh, then there is no reason for her to, for UK to be considering her asylum request. Although that certainly as a temporary arrangement does not exist in the UK immigration rules and norms. So there is clarity that she is not welcome in London, but does not mean that the door is completely shut. What we are looking at over here is what is going to happen with the back channels. How is diplomacy going to be conducted between India and the United Kingdom, Hasina camp and the United Kingdom? India might have a role to play over here in having a conversation on why Sheikh Hasina cannot have a prolonged stay in India and why she needs a safer space. That is one country, and then there could be conversations with other countries as well. But for now, we do know for a fact that it is not just the onus of Hasina leaving Delhi and moving to a third country does not just lie on Hasina, but also lies on the Indian administration at this point in time.
You know, it's interesting that Sheikh Hasina also has huge family residing in London, and we know her niece is a member of Parliament, British Parliament. Will that positively influence her bid? So far it hasn't, but do you think as family that she could anyway just go stay with them, or because she was former head of state, the rules apply differently for her?
Well, Nabila, then I could counter-argue this entire statement of yours by saying that Tariq Zia, the son of Khalida Zia, stays and has been living in London, very close to the Pakistani establishment. And there is a massive Pakistani lobby within the British Parliament. Certainly those who stand against India and therefore also stand against Sheikh Hasina. That lobby has been vociferous, quite open and quite critical of Sheikh Hasina, and they are the ones who are now pushing against any asylum for Sheikh Hasina. So while there is a pro-Sheikh Hasina, pro-India camp, there's a very strong anti-Sheikh Hasina, pro-Pakistan, pro-BNP camp as well. And we'll have to see whether if between these two camps, what really happens, which one prevails, but more importantly, how much influence or conversation can New Delhi have with London to have this important political dignitary move out of New Delhi and find safety either in London or maybe a third country.
Geeta, thanks very much for joining us on that. Well, former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, is still in India for the moment. The Bangladesh Air Force flight that had brought Sheikh Hasina to India has now returned to Bangladesh as well. More security forces has been deployed outside the Hindon airbase. Hasina's plane that landed in Hindon airbase just last evening, 5:41 p.m. That was the time that she landed into India. Soon after that, she met with NSA Ajit Doval. For now, there's no clarity on her next move because it appears that she faces a roadblock in United Kingdom. That's the information that we've received. For the moment, she has been denied temporary asylum in United Kingdom. So what next for her, we are yet to ascertain. Security has been heightened at the Hindon airbase where Sheikh Hasina is right now. VIP cars have been spotted entering the airbase today. In fact, the BSF DG Diljit Chaudhry has visited the Petropol border and taken stock of the situation there. BSF has also heightened alerts at Eastern Command, halting traffic at all integrated checkposts. BSF is maintaining close coordination with the border guard Bangladesh. Additionally, the state of Meghalaya has imposed a night curfew along its border areas with Bangladesh to ensure security and prevent potential cross-border incidents.
Goods carriers with permits are being allowed. It's being frisked heavily at the Petropol border over here in West Bengal's North 24 Parganas. Now, it's a regular process of frisking, but what we see over here is it's a high level of frisking that is happening over here. Since morning, these are the first round of vehicles, these goods carriers, which are being allowed, the ones that have a permit over here. And what we can see from here is Bangladesh is just it's at a stone's throw from us. That is Bangladesh. These trucks are coming. What we can try and have an insight of what's happening inside Bangladesh is we'll speak to them. Bhaiya, कहाँ से?
हम बिहार से सर।
बिहार से। ये गाड़ी कहाँ का है?
गाड़ी कोलकाता का सर।
कहाँ जाएगा?
ये कोलकाता सर।
कोलकाता क्या माल था यार?
इसमें माल था टेलर लेके आए थे सर।
अच्छा, अभी फिलहाल क्या सिचुएशन है
वहाँ अभी तो फिर भी हंगाम हो रहा है ज्यादा अंदर में, और वहाँ जो है से कल मेरे गाड़ी के आगे बम बारूद और तलवारें ले लेके पूरे लोग ऐसे हंगामा मचा रहे थे। कल शाम पे बॉर्डर से करीब 1 किलोमीटर अंदर में हम थे। अभी पब्लिक लोग भी हंगामा किया है, बोलते हैं बॉर्डर सीज कर दो, बॉर्डर बंद करने के लिए मांग कर रही है।
This person, he's carrying a trailer from Bangladesh till Bihar. He's a driver. He stays in Bihar. The number plate of this vehicle is NL, that is Nagaland. He states that yesterday there was a lot of violence and even people with swords and bombs allegedly came in front of his vehicle. Today it's a bit better, but many people, as per him, claim that border needs to be seized over there. With camera person Shamchandra Ghosh, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today. India-Bangladesh border at Petropol for India Today.
All right, my colleague Rahul Kaval spoke with Sheikh Hasina's son Sajib Wazid on the crisis in Bangladesh. Listening to this exclusive conversation where he says it's now inevitable that Bangladesh could turn into Pakistan.
Could you begin by telling our viewers on India Today about the last conversation you had with your mom and the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh? How is she doing now? What is she telling you?
I spoke with her earlier this morning, and she is in good spirits, but she's very disheartened, very disappointed that after she has taken Bangladesh from a country that was a failing state, a poor country with militancy rising, she fought the militancy with an iron hand. She developed Bangladesh into a middle-income country, and today it's a minority, it's just a vocal minority that turned against her. And so now she is very disappointed, and frankly speaking, she is done. She's 77 years old. this was going to be her last term. She was going to retire after this anyway. And so she is done with Bangladesh.
Do you foresee any trouble in her movement across the world because she's left in circumstances where it's uncertain about whether she'll be able to travel? Does she require asylum, or will she be able to move around as a free citizen? Do you have any clarity on that?
No, I don't see her having any problem. She has not done anything wrong. She is not. Our government was regarded as the best government of Bangladesh, so no, I don't see any problem with that.
How did the situation unravel so fast and go out of the control of your mother's government? You're saying it's a small vocal minority. From the protests that we saw, the visuals that are coming in from Dhaka and elsewhere in Bangladesh, it seems a lot of the youth were very angry. Why would your mother and the former Prime Minister control the situation?
Because we didn't want to have a bloodbath or a massacre. In order to control protests, the only option is to use force. And my mother actually she made the decision not to use force on the students. And she chose to step down rather than have a massacre of students.
So now what happens to the Awami League? What happens to the Bangladesh Awami League? There's no clear succession in view. Your mother, you're saying, will not be going back. You yourself reside abroad. So what's the future of the party that brought Bangladesh's freedom?
Unfortunately, all our party members are being targeted by the extremists. And so my priority right now is saving the lives of my party people. Bangladesh's future is no longer my responsibility.